So this news comes around 2 weeks, 2-ish weeks ago. Around that, I'm just getting through my backlog of stupid amount of news that I haven't covered over the past couple of weeks. I've just been a little bit lazy, shall we say. I do actually stream on Twitch now, so I guess if you want to go check me out on Twitch, I'll just chuck the link up on screen or the name and shit. And my YouTube bio, I've got it and all that stuff. And okay, that's not too important. Okay, getting into the actual important stuff. If you didn't know, Sony has recently closed NeoCo. I think that's how you say it, and Firewalk Studios. So NeoCo is a mobile developer. Let me actually just bring up their Wikipedia page and read through it for a second. So yeah, NeoCo, I'm probably saying that wrong, was a German and Finnish game development studio located in both Berlin and Haskala. European names, that's all you need to fucking know. Originally called Savage Game Studios, the studio was founded in 2020 and in 2022 was acquired by Sony Interactive as the founding member of PlayStation Studios mobile division. It was renamed NeoCo in November of 2023. Jesus. Closed in October of 2024. In August 2022, Sony had announced its intentions on acquiring Savage Game Studios as its first major action to the publisher's expansion into the mobile game development and publishing. The studio was also revealed to be working on a AAA live service action title in July 2023. Studio co-founder and managing director Michael Ketoff announced his departure from the studio until November of 2023. The studio was renamed to NeoCo. In October 2024, Sony Interactive announced this closure of the studio on the grounds that we are at a very early stage of our mobile efforts, and its mobile action game will not be moving forward. So we really have no clue about anything on this game in the slightest, or like even the studio themselves. We don't know really the details on why they got shut down. I suspect when Sony had those big layoffs, they probably were on the edge or on teetering on shutting down or getting rid of the game, closing it. And as soon as Concord flopped as hard as what it did, they went, we need to make cuts, we're going to shut down the studio. And then with already, some lead developers and co-founders departing from the studio, it makes sense why they got shut down. Doesn't mean they should have gotten shut down, but morals, I'll leave that out of the situation. Then going on to the other news, which is, who's really that surprised? Firewalk recently just got shut down too. The developers of Concord, as you can see right here. They developed games such as Concord. That's it. They haven't done anything else. And then going on to their Wikipedia page, which they don't have, but they do have a where is it? No, they do have a Wikipedia page. Never mind. That's not a Wikipedia. But I'll be back. Okay, I found it. I said I was going to be back, but I didn't even have to cut. I just found it. Okay. So, Firewalk Studios was an American game development studio based in Bowling, Washington. Founded in 2018, it is a subsidiary of PlayStation Studios and was owned by Sony Interactive from 2023. Firewalk was established in 2018 as a subsidiary of Probable Monster by veterans of game companies such as Bungie and Activision, including former Activision exclusives Tony Hawk and former Bungie creative director Ryan Ellis, who worked on the Destiny franchise together. Probable Monster collabed with PlayStation maker Sony in the establishment and growth of the studio, and the three companies announced their partnership in April of 2021. In April of 2023, Sony announced its acquisition of Firewalk Studios from Probable Monster. The studio's first game was Concord, a multiplayer first-person shooter for the PlayStation 5 and PC. Releasing in August 2024, the game was a critical and commercially disappointing, which was possibly part of the reason for their closure 2 months ago. They weren't shut down 2 months ago, but whatever. You got their history, but their history is very long, and we're not going to get into that. So they released one game, which was Concord. We don't have to go into why they got shut down. Like, when it comes to, I'm going to sound really harsh here for a second, and I know I'm about to sound really harsh, but in all honesty, when we go to a studio shutdown like Tango Gameworks, they should have never gotten shut down. Their game was financially a flop, but they made a critically acclaimed game. It takes for you know you've got a good publisher when they look at a game and they go, the game didn't do well, but it's critically acclaimed. We're going to keep you up and running to release a new game. We're the reason why this game didn't do well. The marketing team, you know, a studio like Tango Gameworks should have never gotten shut down. But when you make a bad product like what the Redfall developer did, Arcane Austin, I believe it was either Austin or one of the other ones, I don't know. They got shut down recently too. When you make a bad product and you get shut down, no offense, and this is going to sound stupidly harsh, but it's completely true. That is not the publisher's fault. It's not. That's not that's not the publisher's fault. I don't blame Sony for shutting down Firewalk even in the slightest. And that might sound stupidly harsh, and you're right, it is harsh. You know what I mean? It's harsh words, but it's true. You made a bad product, and now you are facing the consequences of making a bad product. You should have made a better product. You know? And like, and you can't even make it like a situation where it's like, oh, but the marketing team failed it. No. Hi-Fi Rush was failed by the marketing team. Concord was just a bad game. Concord wasn't failed by anyone. Concord was a bad product. And when you make a bad product, you get shut down. And you might be thinking, oh, if they were independent, they wouldn't have gotten shut down. No. Concord cost $400 million. If they were to try to scrounge that type of money, and they did scrounge that type of money, they would have to make that money back. And then they would just have to end up going bankrupt. They'd end up going bankrupt, you know what I mean? And then having to file for bankruptcy, you know? No, like, if they're independent, this would have still happened, unless they had a lot of money, you know? No offense, Firewalk deserved to get shut down. You made a bad product, and that bad product failed. I don't doubt you put hard work into it, yeah. But you made a bad product, and you got shut down because of it. That's your fault. That's not my fault. And that's not Sony's fault. That's no one's fault. That's your fault. You made the bad product. You know? That's the thing. You made a bad product. That product flopped. What do you want us to do about it? You know, we're not going to support a bad product. You made a bad product, you got shut down. It's no different to Arcane Austin. I do feel a little bad for the people who lost their jobs, but you made a bad product. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel bad for the people, like, you know, for me, I feel bad for the people who get shut down, like Neoco, who didn't, like, they hadn't even made a product, you know what I mean? And I can see objectively why they got shut down, yes, but I don't think, like, they should have. You know, like, you look at a developer like Savage Games or Neoco, and you go, you didn't even make a bad product. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you got shut down anyway, so that's sad. I feel bad for you. But then you look at a game developer like Firewalk, and you think, you made a bad product. I don't care that you got shut down. That's how I truly feel. And it sounds really nasty, and it's true, it is nasty. But that's the world. The world's nasty. You make a bad product, you're gonna get shut down. You know, you're gonna lose your job. You know, I feel bad for the people who were impacted, who had nothing to do with this game. If you were fired from Naughty Dog or laid off from Naughty Dog for a game or a big flop like Concord, you shouldn't be laid off because you had nothing to do with that project. That project flopped because those developers fucked it, and then you're facing the consequences. No one else should face the consequences of this game flopping. The only people who should are the people at Firewalk. Those are the only people who should deal with the consequences of this game flopping so fucking hard, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much all the news on these two things. I guess, I hate when it does that. I guess I'll keep you updated as more information comes out. This is getting a little long. But yeah, it's a sad day for Neoco. Nah, not as much for Firewalk, but you know, yeah, I don't feel bad for them people at Firewalk. You should have made a better game, a better product, and people would have bought that better product, you know? And I don't feel bad for some of the people there, because some of the people there were just dicks, you know what I mean? But anyways, I'll keep you updated as more information comes out. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. All good, bye.